Okay, so we got Italian League, and this one is back and forth. It looks like Perugia dominated in three of the sets, but then lost one of them. I don't know. We'll see. But Perugia versus Piacenza, some stacked rosters. You guys know I always like to show the rosters here. We got Brizard, the French setter, Mar, the Canadian outside, who I don't know. Maybe he's retiring, maybe he's not. Who knows? I'm not sure when. Effie, I'm not sure where he's from. Whatever. Romano, the right side for Italy. Gianelli, Italian setter. Lucer, Argentinian middle. The way he moves across the net for blocking is just perfect. Bentara, not is he Belarusian? I don't remember where he's from. Semeniuk, Polish. Plotnytski, Ukrainian. Outside, these two are outsides. Stack rosters. Probably two of the best teams in the world. Let's check them out. Okay, we got Bentara starting us off. Mar keeps his ball alive. Honestly, just keeping this ball alive is pretty dang impressive. And with this type of ball, you just have to make an angle towards the setter and just keep the ball alive pretty much. Romano. This one's a real weird ball. Yeah, I guess Romano thought that he was going to set him a little bit more inside, but hey, stuff happens, whatever. Gets him out of system. Semeniuk high off the hands, through the hands here. And honestly, in my opinion, if you're going to make a triple block like this, I'd rather you stay down and then you'll be an option to hit. But it works out. Looks like Piacenza's kind of starting off pretty well. Really good cover move by Brizard there. And who is this guy? Sole? Not sure. He must be Italian. I think he's Italian, but really good sealing of that high ball. Just getting a decent angle so that if it hits, it's still going downward, but being able to reach over top and get to a high point. And boom. Middles, I think it's just so important just to jump and be able to just hit this in transition, because he can run this, he can set this from anywhere on the court pretty much at his level of skill. And that's why I think middles should just jump on this in transition, and then possibly this happens, Really nice by that middle just to stop where he is and jump and make sure he's on time. And this is a good pass. I wouldn't say it's a perfect pass. But yeah, this middle still commits with Simón because he knows that Brizard can set Simón from there. And Gianelli, maybe he gets caught on the pipe there, trying to help on the pipe, but yeah, he didn't make a great move there. But let's go back to this real quick, because even though he got caught and he was late over here, the reason he didn't get this block wasn't because he was late and stuff. Well, partially, yes. But it's because he didn't press over the net here. No matter what you're doing, you need to press over the net, because obviously he didn't press enough, and then the ball just trickled in through there. You don't want that. You want the ball. You want to seal the net so that there's no chance of it going through your hands on your side of the net. And also pressing over the net allows you to take up more space. I like Lucer here, just the little shuffle step, and then he gets neutral on contact, on the setter's contact. And I think it's just watch him move along the net. I think he moves along the net so smoothly, and he's a really good blocker. The guys that I really like to watch for middles, or anyone that I recommend for middles to watch, just for blocking reasons, Lucer and David Smith, the two cleanest blockers that I can think of, honestly. And this is good. This is a good choice by Semeniuk. He's kind of challenging these guys to be able to make a triple block both ways, and Stephen Marr doesn't. He stays down because it's maybe tight, but yeah, just putting it. And I'm fine with the tightness of it, because if he can get his feet there, he can joust someone or do something there. But excuse me, but it's just not high enough. Like just by a slight bit, you know. You want to allow your hitters to just go up and be athletic. I would much rather someone put it too high, and it gives the blockers more time to close that, than go too fast and then not allow the hitter to go get it. Because if the hitter's allowed to go up and be athletic, the block is also and the block also is, that's fine. But like if the hitter's not allowed to go up and be athletic and do something and make a choice, I don't see the benefit in that at all, you know. Yeah, Plotnytski might just be kind of stuck in cement on that defense right there. Not sure. Gianelli, and like this right here, like he's just putting it up high, putting it up towards the net, right in front of this guy. Semeniuk here, obviously, but and then like this is why I would much rather it be high, because look, this is a good block. This is a good solid triple block, but yet Semeniuk's able to go up, jump as high as he can, reach as high as he can, be athletic, and make a choice. You know, and I trust my hitters. I want them to go up. I want to give them the best option, or not the best option, but the best opportunity to choose the right option, you know. Very nice block move by Semeniuk. And I think Semeniuk is a really good blocker in the sense that he never drifts. He always jumps straight up. He's never going to be the biggest blocker. He's never going to be making super crazy moves outside of his body, really. Like right here, this is probably the craziest move that you'll see from him. But still, he doesn't drift. He's able to put up a stable block so that it doesn't risk there being a hole in there. And yeah, Plotnytski kind of just has to read outside the block there. That's all. And you know, let me go back to this real quick. I feel like as a defender, you want to be outside the block, but you want to be a step outside the block, okay? Because directly outside the block would mean, as you're reading here, you're right where Plotnytski is right now, okay? But then Semeniuk is able to go there and take that away. And then this guy just goes way further from the block. So if he would have been a step over, I think he would have gotten that dig. But I'm not a defensive genius by any means. I just, that's just my assumption. That's just my assumption of playing 5-spot for a very small time. Brizard, he's a super physical setter, and I love that about him. But this is very funny here, where Semeniuk just doesn't go up, and then he just throws it out of bounds. So my advice for setters would be go straight, and then if you feel people's hands, then you can swipe. But like, there's no point in risking this and then just like assuming that they'll be up and stuff like that. Like, yeah, I don't know. Just my opinion. Yeah, and Mar's playing well. He had a really good Olympics too. I think Stephen Marr had a very good Olympics. I really liked watching the Canadian team, watching them back, and I still kind of check in and watch them a bit just because, I mean, Stephen Marr and Lepke are both great outsides, and I think that their offense uses a lot of pipe, and I think it's very clean. Oh, yeah, Gianelli from the back row, right? No, from the front row. Okay. And again, like, this is the same principle with this dig, is you're allowing Gianelli to go up, be physical, because obviously he's a physical setter. He's a very tall, lanky setter. You're allowing him to go up, be as physical as possible, and make a good choice. Even if the blockers have time, he has the possession. He has the responsibility to make that choice. And yeah, if you don't trust your hitters, set a ridiculously fast tempo so they don't have to make a decision. And it's just like both sides are bad, and we can just base it off of luck. But personally, I am not a fan of that. Interesting choice by this libero here, but obviously it's the correct choice. I think maybe it's because he's a lefty, and Plotnytski likes to go that sharp cross, but I don't know. Not completely sure. Brizard. Yeah, it's crazy that even Bentara, who jumps crazy high, even Gianelli doesn't have to set it that high from his hands, from his contact point. Because Gianelli's contact point where he sets from is just so high. Yeah, I think like this is a great example of Mar being great on the pipe is wherever he is, wherever he passes from, he just gets on that route immediately. Even if it's weird, even if it's just going to be 2 steps, he stays low and he's ready on that pipe all the time. Simón. He's got such a fast arm swing, but it's so interesting. Like he doesn't open up much. It's a very quick arm swing. Like a very shortened arm swing. It works for him really well though, obviously. He's one of the best middles of all time, honestly. Same type of deal. Let Plotnytski jump as high as possible. Let him go be athletic. And so I was telling the setter that I was coaching this weekend, I was telling this kid, let your hitters be athletic, Let your hitters go be athletic. Let them go reach at their peak. It was for kind of like semi-in system passes. And I was just telling him, let them go be athletic because I trust their hitters. It was good. He figured it out though. In the end, he was starting to put it tighter, put it in front of them, let them go be athletic, put it high. Instead of trying to maintain a super fast tempo when it's a weird ball. Yeah, and like this is why I would rather it be a tight ball. Because if he puts it here, these guys are getting a free ball pretty much at this level. Okay? And so right now, what happens is they joust, and then who gets the next swing? Bang. They get to do some weird stuff. They get the next swing. They get the next real swing, so to speak. Tip. Tips are so important these days, man. And you can't tip. You have to tip angles now, too. Like, even when you tip, you have to tip at certain angles. You have to tip line, you have to tip cross, you have to tip off of the hands, Whew. I also gave some advice to the setter. Like, he kind of juked out. He actually got both the middle and the outside to jump. But I asked him later, I was like, hey, so like which one were you trying to get to jump? And he said the outside. And so I was like, okay, why'd you set the middle then? This is why I would rather, because this guy you're his responsibility, okay? So then if he jumps, this guy has this right here. He might have been over though. Was he over? I don't know. But yeah, that's a great example of it right there. And Anton Spita, if you're watching right now, that's a great play for exactly the thing that I was telling you about. Okay, bud? Off the hands, just ripped it. Just swinging high. Bentara can do what he wants. He can just swing straight, and he's already high, so it's just easier for him. It's less disciplined, so to speak. But, like, he obviously can really bounce a ball, so he has more temptation, so to speak. Free ball. And the same thing with free ball passes, you need to let your setter go be athletic and make a choice too. Because if you're putting free balls over back here and off the net, and then you're not allowing him to make the decision to set the middle, you're just destroying your offense, You're just destroying your setter's confidence and game, honestly, Oh, I would have loved to see that back one there. Yeah, I think that would have been a nice route, but Plotnytski, man, he's a beast. And you see how he just loads into these last 2 steps and just pops up there and then sharp cross. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Very good. Plotnytski's a very fun player to watch. Lefty outside, maybe 6'3". Just jumps out of the gym. and he can take, and I mean, his arm swing too. He's a fun player to watch, man. Gianelli goes way early on that puppy. And personally, I guess if he's early like this, obviously that's not ideal, but pulling his hands if he's early lowers his chances of getting tooled, so I actually don't mind that choice right there. Good block. And again, like immediately as he's jumping, he's getting his hands over the net immediately. Like right when his hands are going up over the net, he's immediately pressing. It's not jump and then press. It's jump and press at the same time. You know? I'll show you that one more time. And he gets him. And Simón doesn't get blocked too much. He's pretty dominant. Yeah, Lucero is one of my favorite middles right now, honestly. Like, I mean, look at this. This is even a weird route, but he's still just taking a good swing. I think Simón actually gets caught kind of doing what I was talking about here, is he goes up and then presses. You want to just press immediately. And I guess maybe he's pressing with his arms and then finishing with his hands, and it just goes around him. So I can't tell from the angle, you know, but it looked fine, actually, now that I put it in slow-mo. I just saw his hands moving, couldn't tell. Bang. And again, like, he's late, which is fine. Middles, it's fine if you're late. But if you're late, you still have to press. Okay, you don't always have to be making the biggest move. Who blocks him? I think Bentara blocks him, but still. But Bentara is a beast. Takes away that cross right there. But the middles, like, press immediately. You're gonna have to be okay with being late. Yeah. Let's see if Gianelli can run it. Yup. Love it. And I like Mar's decision here, just to say, screw it, I'm out of here. I'm getting my primary. Because I guess it's harder to hit this middle here and have a clean connection with this middle here, because it's just so much faster. So, like, I mean, if it's a percentage game or, like, you're grading those sets, I would assume that's going to be better. Also, that's just your primary guy. So you got to focus on your primary. When stuff gets messy, focus on your primary hitter. Simón, man. It's such a... And, like, when he serves, he's still... I mean, maybe his elbow could go back further, but still, like, he's just so muscly with it. He's just... I feel like he probably benches a ton of... He's just stiff. Which, I mean, for Simón, for how big he is, it works. I mean, I'm not going to be the one that says to Simón that he's got to fix his arm swing. That's definitely not true. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. Barrow's getting good digs, and they just go in the net there. It was a big problem for us this weekend. It was very annoying. Going in the net, how do you fix going in the net? One of my kids asked that. How do you fix that? Don't know. Just don't do it. I do not. Nobody practices not going in the net. So, wow. Really good swing, and just good defense by Bentara, it looks like. right in Gianelli's hands, too. Good for him for being up. Just a tough choice. That goes off his hands, though. Goes off his hands. Good for him. Got his fingers there. Steven Marr, he seems like a funny guy. Plotnytski over the top, it looks like. Oh my gosh. Okay, it went through. It could have gotten blocked. If this third blocker would have closed, ooh, he would have clamped it. He would have clamped that puppy. That's why it's important to close. It's more important to close than it is to get super high as a blocker. Because if it's going towards the top of your block, then it's usually going to be a soft block or something like that. But if it is going in between your block in some way, then nobody's playing defense on that. Gianelli. Serving it up. Mar. Yeah. And like look at how loaded he is through his entire approach. He's just loaded, 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 loaded. Jump. You know, it's so interesting. I feel like that's a very like him. Mojic does that. I think Plotnytski's different with it though, because he kind of hops into it a little bit and then drops and it goes up. But he still keeps his hips in kind of the same spot and then he just hops. He's more of a calf jumper. Mar's more of a full leg jumper, you know, if that makes sense. I don't know. I don't know anything about jumping mechanics. Just looks a little bit different, that's all. That's all I'm saying. And you know, I like people running some sort of route on free balls. I think that's very important. Just to like, okay, you gave us a free ball, let's challenge you and like let's not even give you any sort of chance to do it. Let's just get a little hype, you know, a little bit of excitement from a bounce or something. Can't tell you why that one worked. But again, same thing. Like this is phenomenal. Look at him. Just again, same thing. Putting it tight. As long as it's high, it doesn't matter if it's tight because if it's high, you can get your feet there and trust your hitter. You know. Really nice. Really nice swing by Mar, too. Look at how he tracks this ball over his shoulder. Still lets it get in front of him. See how it's slightly in front of him while he's hitting it? That's beautiful. Beautiful tracking of the ball there. And you see Semeniuk just sprints over and just stands here ready to do whatever. Yeah, good choice to set Bentara there. Ooh, hello. I think it's very important to jump as high as possible on these if you can, because it completely fakes these guys out. Yeah, like this is so nice. This is so clean. I mean, maybe not the cleanest, you know, maybe Mar goes a little bit early. But like it's still going against a half blocker, you know? Like there's no I don't understand why not every team does it. Like every team should be doing that, honestly. It just puts so much pressure on a team instead of just like, okay, yeah, we're out of system. Or like I saw Zawirsi. I watched the game recently. I made a video off of it. I don't know if you guys saw that video, but the libero set like a bick to Aaron Russell. It was beautiful. But like you can't just because the setter takes the first ball, you can't just like, oh yeah, okay, we're out of system. No. Dude, come on. Add some pressure. Find a way to put pressure on the block still. Ooh, hello. Gianelli loves to pull his hands. He hates getting tooled, I guess. I don't know. But I would hate to have that happen. I would not be happy about that happening, so. And a lot of the time, this defense here, if you have good teammates, it's just about keeping the ball alive because then Mar will just run in, put up a ball, keep the play alive. And then if you keep the play alive, this is some of the stuff that can happen, man. If you keep the play alive, they have two options. No, honestly, they have one option here. They're not going to set Plotnytski. Just keep the ball alive and then figure the rest out, you know? Problem solving, you know? Ooh, that was barely out of bounds. Ooh, hello. Short serve. Good take by the libero here. I saw this clip on Instagram, I think. What happens? Who gets set? Who gets set? I don't know. I saw this clip on Instagram, though. I think. I really like this take by the libero. If you can just do this and take away more space, like now this guy is covering all of this space. That takes away so much pressure from these guys. Okay, Romano. That's who it went to, is it? I don't remember that. Maybe it was a different clip. I don't know. Yep, no, it was this clip because this happened. Plotnytski. And he takes his approaches from inside the court this much in certain scenarios. And that means that he can swing straight and it goes here, or he can just fully go this way Goes off Brizard's head, though. Ooh, good move by Semeniuk here. Gets to that deep corner. He doesn't think. So as this gets moved over, this sharp cross is harder to hit. So he goes to the deep corner instead. Goes over top like he expected. And just keeps the ball alive. Sharp cross goes right under Simon's armpit there. It's crazy. It's a good spot to aim though, like right under there. Ooh, hello. Let's see. And let's see. Who is this? Effie. This is Effie. So I think he's an Italian kid, but I could be wrong. And then just takes a real nice sharp swing. Look at that. Look at how he pulls his body away and just thumb down. Ooh, hello. And like if you want to hit more angles and stuff or like hit sharper, you're going to have to move your body in certain ways because your shoulder has a limit to its mobility, if that makes sense. Hey. I get so frustrated if people do this to me. Hey, keep the ball alive. Good man. Plotnytski going that same angle, ripping off the hands. Great read by Mar. Of course, he's going to, this is where he's aiming if he's going off hands. Great read by Mar. And he knows he's going off hands there. He gets multiple feet behind the end on there. And they're just scrapping here. They're just scrapping. This is scrappy ball. You get in a weird situation, but yet these hitters can still figure it out and take a good swing. Yeah, that's touched. Ginelli runs it over top of it. Yeah, I like that. Great read by Simón. Let's see it one more time. Sorry. I want to see. Okay. Huh. Interesting. That's a nice run, though. I like that a lot. And I want to see this, too. See how Semeniuk tracks the ball. And he kind of, opens his shoulder a little bit. It's not much, but you have to because if the ball's coming there, you kind of have to. Same way, like a middle, if the ball's coming from further off the net, he has to open his shoulders. Same way as this guy does when he's hitting the pipe when the ball's getting moved backward. Got to open yourself up to the setter, man. I would almost guarantee this is off the hands. Maybe not. Maybe it is. Maybe it is. Yeah, it's definitely off the hands. Simón. Plotnytski dimed it. And I like this little reverse flow action here. Ball gets pushed forward. If the middle's forward, then that's when you reverse flow. Because it's either the middle stays neutral and the middle's open, or the middle follows the middle and then this reverse flow is open. So it's a give and take in those types of situations as the pass gets moved around. Because as the pass gets moved around, the middle route gets moved around, which means that the middle blocker either has to move around with the middle or has to stay neutral. And there's consequences to each choice. Ooh, they are just allowing, they're giving up this line, seeing what happens. Bentara takes that line. That's why it's important to be able to serve everywhere as a server. Instead of just I'm a one-trick pony, I can just swing really hard to the 6. Yeah. I mean, there are some servers that serve pretty much to the same spot every time, but just variety in your serve is so important. And I just had a kid this weekend that I was coaching. He just was like, yeah, screw it. I'm going to start serving from the 5. And I was like, hey, when did you start doing that? It looks good. He's like, I did it this weekend. It was good. It was a really good serve. Really nice stuff. But yeah, I mean, just variety in your serve. Because certain serves add value in certain ways, Yeah, Plotnytski's just going off the hands. And look how deep they have to stay. Every single one of these guys has to be deep because Plotnytski's not going to be able to go over or around any of these guys. This guy's a bit high here. Great chase down by the libero. tips. Tips. And these guys are able to keep the ball alive, it looks like. And then let's see what they do off of it. And then he tips and scores off of it, it looks like. Oh, maybe not. Maybe they kept it alive. I don't know. Yeah, they kept it alive, I guess. Looked like it was down from my angle, but I can't tell. Real small. They are so close with these routes. I would love it if they spaced them out a little bit more. Because this is why spacing is so important with these routes, is because this guy jumped with the middle, okay? He jumped with the middle. But yet he still is up as Semeniuk's hitting this ball. So, like, as it's crossing them, he's still going, like, he could still block the ball if he swung there. It's not a great block, but still just, like, a little bit of spacing is so important to me. Ooh, Simón having a tough game here. Not a very common thing. Yeah, I don't know what happened in these sets, but I mean, it seems like Perugia was dominant, and then Piacenza just competed in this third set, and then I mean, I'm pretty sure the fourth set was 25-14, so it's crazy. Brizard brings it back again, lets him be athletic. Get out of the way, Romano. Get out of the way. And, I mean, I'd be okay with Romano just stepping in and setting this because he's sprinting from here. And then there's also confusion of, oh, okay, I was supposed to go this way. Oh, shoot, are you going this way or that way? Like, in a hall, you know? Yeah, then might as well just have Romano take it. And I mean, personally, I would trust any professional player to have decent enough hands where they can set a high ball to an outside. But who knows? Who knows? Maybe Romano's got some terrible hands. Who knows? Does he have a middle route here? No. Can he set? So here we go. Okay, so the ball gets moved forward. If Giannelli can set a tempo ball here, then I like this. I like this guy cheating to him. You know, but if it was a situation where this guy couldn't, like he's just standing setting, then don't cheat. Just stay neutral. Stay neutral, and then you should be able to close to a pin if they're slowing down their offense. Ooh, does Margo in the net here? Dunks it. Stays high. I like it. And, okay, I want you guys to see something real quick, okay? When he notices he's blocking, and then when he notices that Bentaro's going to tip, see how he pulls his hands back a little bit to give him more time to slap? Then he grabs the ball. He just gives himself a little bit more time by pulling his hands a slight bit. When he sees the tip, he goes, ooh. Like, I mean, most people, that's a natural reaction, but if it's not a natural reaction, you don't do it yet, I would definitely recommend doing it. I think it's very good. Could help you a ton. Yeah, I mean, Lucero, look at how he gets out of the way, rolls off, finds the ball, finds where it is. Right here, he's looking where the ball is going, gets on his route, goes up, bang. Ooh, in. That was a slow serve. Holy crap. And it just dropped right on the line. Ay. Short serve, middle takes it. Brizard has to go reverse flow to Romano. Wow. Look at that set. I mean, he had no other options. It was either dump or do this. Plotnytski makes I don't know. I wouldn't say this is a bad decision by him because there's no options here, and this is a very hard set to do. So I honestly don't blame Plotnytski for dropping off there. It's just, I mean, Brizard, he can do that, I guess. He can do that. Wow. Just throws it back there. Good for him. That's just good feel of the game, good technical ability. He's just a beast. Good for him. And like, so if you think you're gonna get the middle of the jump, then you do this. Bang. Good for him. Nice. Yeah. I love Lucer. Lucer's nice with it. Although he's getting beat a little bit right now, but hey, they're gonna win the game in the end, so it works out. Gianelli, love this little chop here. He's contacting the ball from so high, so he's actually able to get on top of the ball and do this. Most people are not. He's right behind the ball almost. Me, when I do it, when I go short right there, I usually have to get slightly under the ball and chop there. But who knows? Maybe I could, if I go max jump, maybe I could do that. I'm not sure. Dang. Good run. And so, like, this is why I think spacing between these routes is so important, because either, like, he splits these right now. But, like, with him splitting them, if this ball goes to the middle, he has to jump to the right, and jumping straight up is better. Like, you're going to be higher and more physical if you jump straight up. So it's either he jumps right or jumps left. Not a terrible choice by him, but, like, the spacing makes him have to do that. Like, I think he's fine with it because he's physical enough to do that, but most people are not. Great choice here by Effie. Just swinging. If the play gets crazy, just swing. Just swing. Don't actually do that, though, because then you're going to get blocked a lot. But, like, always be ready to just jump where you are and take a swing. Because the play is going to get messy pretty consistently. Every play is very different. Not every play is a perfect scenario. I like this a lot because it's just, he's facing exactly where he has to set. It's just simple. It's just, okay, my window's there. I'm not going to worry about anything else. Boom, putting it right in that window. Putting up a perfect ball. And that's what happens when you put up a perfect ball. You at least get a free ball over. And now you got Mar running the offense. Mar dishes it. Sarah doesn't play good enough defense, it looks like, but look at that. Dishing it. Dishing the rock. John Stockton over there dishing the rock. Yeah, I don't know who this libero is, but I don't know. I don't know if I've really seen much that impresses me. Oh, wow. It's a nice serve by Bentaro. Libero, same thing here. He's just facing his thing, facing the target, going up there. And I'm not, like, I like Mar being a bit deceptive on the one, but if you keep it simple, you know for a fact you're hitting the window. But if you're saucy enough, you know you're hitting the window when you're not looking, when you're trying to be deceptive. Like me, I got butter. I can dish that rock. Semeniuk. Yeah, and Semeniuk, it's a good set. It's just tough because he's staying inside because the ball's getting moved backward and stuff, so that if this ball dies inside, then he can go inside easy. But then it's right in front of him, and then he's just not able to. So, like, personally, I would have probably gotten a bit further outside, so that you're forcing it to be inside of you, so that you're coming at an angle instead of going straight. Because you're just at an advantage if you're going straight on, Semeniuk runs it. Gives it to the middle. I think the middle was waiting, and he just wait. Yeah, he's late on that one. But at the professional level, it's very hard to be doing that. I think at the professional level, being a middle must be exhausting. Whoa, Whoa, a lot of stuff happening here. He launches this one. Gianelli bombs it over there, but that's okay. That's okay. And again, like, I mean, similar to this, like, the ball gets moved forward to the left here, over here. So Mar gets way outside the court, so the ball's still going to be at a good angle for him. And the ball dies off the net, but yeah, I like this choice here, forcing that middle, because it's just too simple. When there's just two options, it's either a one-on-one with a middle versus an outside, or it's a two-on-one with an outside versus a middle and a right side. I'd rather take this matchup, okay? Yeah. And, like, I mean, a lot of the time, if you're playing a club, this guy is not going to be ready to block a middle, okay? And even if he is, most outsides don't know how to block a middle. Exactly what I'm talking about here. Spacing of the routes. Where he would have to block him is right here, you know, a little, maybe even over here. And then he just has no chance of reaching, you know. So even if he does wait, he still has to make a move over. So he either has to jump sideways or he has to shuffle over, which takes time, you know. So spacing the routes, I talk about it all the time. Spacing. Ooh, but again, like right here, everyone gets a little bit confused here, and Bentara almost gets it. And like also, it's just so condensed here. It's so condensed. Like he's almost jumping on him, and he's almost drifting into this guy's route. Like it's just so, you know. I would rather Mar go backwards, or I would rather Mar go behind on this one. It worked out though. It worked out. Sometimes the most chaotic route. Oh, that is brutal. Sometimes the most chaotic route is the best one. Oh, that's brutal. That's brutal. I will say that has happened to me, in a sense, where I've just gotten completely blocked by the libero. Libero, get out of the way. Get out of the dang way, you goofballs. Get out of here. Plotnytski ripping the serves right now. Oh, my nose is so itchy. Ooh, sneaks it through. This is the plus. This is what you get when you swing high consistently. Sometimes you get lucky. Sometimes you don't. Sometimes you hit his hands. I actually didn't realize he got blocked. I thought it snuck through. Sometimes you get blocked by Simón. But like right here, it's just slightly not high enough because it hits his wrist instead of his hands. Hands will move backwards, okay? Wrists, they won't move backwards, okay? You know, if that makes sense. Fingers will definitely move backwards. They'll get pushed around pretty easily. And you know, if the ball gets moved backwards and you do stay in like this, if the ball is perfect, you got to be able to still swing line. Like you got to be able to be falling away and still hit that line. But honestly, with that, it's harder to hit cross with it. But like that's your first idea. They're stealing this idea from Perugia actually, just having him run it back and go like an in between type of route. Now they can run their offense. I like it. Simón sneaks it through. 2021. Gianelli runs back to Bentara. Okay, let's see. Why do you make this decision? I would have thrown it to Simón. I mean, I like setting the middles in transition. I think it's super important. It just keeps the other middle so honest. And then, like, for example, right here, transition, run the middle, because running up the middle of the court is what I'm saying, because then the middle has to make a decision. And, like, in transition, I can tell you right now, a lot of the time, the pins are not helping with the middle at all. Oof. And yeah. I don't know. I don't know. Semeniuk, I don't know. Semeniuk out of system. I don't know if I like Semeniuk out of system that much. I really don't. Just because I think his footwork is like he's getting his feet to the ball, like right underneath the ball, instead of getting his feet like behind the ball slightly. Because you need a little bit of momentum when you're hitting out of system. Like right here, he still keeps the ball in front of him just a little bit, just a little bit. If you're gonna press into the block, then get your feet there so that you're going straight up and there's no drifting at all, there's no reaching at all, and there's no jumping forward into the net. But with normal out of system, I would say you want to be jumping forward so you have a little bit extra momentum. Gianelli out of system runs to Plotnytski. Plotnytski goes off of Mars' head, off the top, off the dome. And I like this decision here because he's just giving Romano, Romano has a good lane to swing into. Whoever has the most momentum going forward, that's usually a pretty decent option, at least in transition. If your outside is running right along the net and they don't have any momentum, yeah, it's probably not a good idea to set them. Oh, good block by Brizard here. He's such a... He does the correct footwork, but he keeps his shoulders squared to the net so much and then just kind of jumps straight up. Which is good in some ways because then there's no risk of him opening his shoulders too much. But I feel like it takes away some physicality at least. Maybe not a bunch. I mean, he's still just a super physical blocker, but just takes away some physicality. Off the hands, it's a great swing. Semi-in system, I like Semeniuk. Fully out of system, I don't know if I do. I don't know if he's the best option, out of system, I think outside should be, as I was telling one kid, they should be garbage men. I said that on a different video too, but yeah, you gotta be a garbage man. You gotta clean up after everyone else. Kind of just part of the job. Love this. Why did Gianelli leave that much? Wow. Good by Mar to see that Gianelli just left 5 feet of line, but maybe not the best decision by Gianelli. Out of bounds. Oh, inbounds. Okay, never mind. I was wrong. Hitting that seam again, I like it. Great choice. Oh my. This is a big part of our game these days. Is just throwing it into the block to try and reuse it. Gianelli does a good job of trying to slap it down, but this is why it's such a big part of our game is you can scrap, you can get some weird touches through the net here and you can still find a good swing. And this swing scores. It's all about trying to get the next swing. That's the whole purpose of reuse and all that kind of stuff, This is the way that Gianelli loves to dump is he's falling backwards, gets his left hand on it, throws it straight to the middle of the court. Roll shot to the middle. Brizard loves that reverse flow when it gets pushed into this spot here, into this area, this location. Gianelli gets pushed off, goes to Bentara. Bentara spatches that puppy out of bounds. We got Gianelli going here. We got a reverse float from him. And Mar doesn't do a great job of getting it outside of his platform here. He gets it too much on his center line, and then when it goes higher on him, higher than expected, he has to kind of jump upward. And it just gets a little bit too tight. What does he try to do here? Does he try to cobra this? I think he tries to cobra this over top of Semeniuk there. Wow, that's funny. What a guy. What a goon. Good pass by Mar here. Strong hands, strong fingers. Don't let it go through. It's just like using your hands as a platform and just throwing it to it, throwing it to the target, and then blasts the pipe. And again, same thing. Like no matter where his momentum's going off of this pass, he's still on the pipe. He's still on the pipe. He's such a great option on the pipe. I mean, pipe is such a great part of men's volleyball. I think women's volleyball uses the pipe, but just not as much as the men's game does. Like I just think it's a different thing. Like it just offers so much different stuff, I guess, so to speak. Lucer. Bang. Lucer and Bentara. That's a pretty big block. That's a tough block to go against right there. And like as a setter, you need to look every time before the play. You need to be looking at what your options are. Okay. What your options are to hit, what your options are for them to hit against. Okay? Setters, you got to be thinking about this stuff all the time. So Plotnytski's just giving us space here, just going on a run, taking over. Simón, whoa, look at those hands. Show him the better, big dog. It's like a good set, though. He might look weird doing it, but it's a good set. Comes out his hands quick. Good ball. Simón, what a beast, man. What a legend. He is a living legend. Perugia's just dominant this year. That's the crazy part, is just like Piacenza is stacked with talent. Like Olympian, gold medalist, Olympian, bunch of people, but it's a really nice swing by Mar. This guy's an Olympian too. Cuban national team, one of the GOATs. Yeah, it's just they're stacked with talent, but yet Perugia is able to just manhandle them. Right now the score is 9-16. It just like there's levels, And I mean, Gianelli just runs such a great offense too. Semeniuk just said, "What did you say about me out of system? You talking crap?" It's a nice swing, really nice swing. Just run it to that deep corner. Like this is a really great choice. You're out of system. You're not jumping as high as you possibly can. Taking it to a deep corner though. Taking it to a deep corner as hard as you possibly can. I like that choice by Semeniuk. Okay. I'm not saying he's my favorite player out of system, but it's a good choice. This is why it's important to keep the ball tight when you're running this type of set. Like keep the ball tight, keep it in front of this hitter so that he can make a decision. Okay, because if it's back here, I have no options. If it's up here, I have options to go here, because I can see a bunch of stuff. But back here, I'm just like, I got to keep this alive. I have no control. Give the hitters control over the situation. Again, same type of thing though. Like I would rather have this than the ball being 20 feet off. Mar just throws his hands over there. Maybe not the best pass, but hey, it works out. Whoa. Over top of that middle. Semeniuk just sits right in there. One step. So I like this as the French people, as far as I know. When they are playing defense, their mentality is take one step and then stop. Right there, you see Semeniuk. He takes one step, opens up, stops. Boom. He's a split step too, but that's besides the point. And I think Plotnytski assumed that they were going to drop their hands here, but it still works out. He's still swinging high enough where it's okay. Again, same thing. He thought they were going to drop their hands. Some of them did, some of them didn't. It just, yeah. I don't know, dropping your hands is such a risk. I think dropping your hands is a bigger risk of keeping your hands up and getting tooled. He thought he was Simón Nikolov here. Brizard. You silly goose. It could have been sweet. It could have been pretty sweet, but he's just not Semyon Nikolov, you know? He just doesn't have that butter. Semyon Nikolov or Antoine Brizard? Make your decision now, everybody. Who is the GOAT? Bang, see a ball. This is crazy. I mean, you have to realize how crazy that is. Like, him hitting his hands from here, it must have been right here with a weird route too. What a swing by Lucer. 21-11, never mind. 21-12. Still a dominating game. Bang. This is why I love this sometimes is boom. Just pop that. Just ka-chow it. Bang. There we go. There we go. It's a nice swing by Plotnytski. Plotnytski does swing that sharp cross really nice. So it's like a righty swinging a sharp cross on the right side. I think he does it very well. I think it's probably his best option. Lucer, let's see the serve one more time. Lucer, you're a beast. You're one of my favorite middles. Great job, brother. It's a good game. Thanks for watching, guys.